The Pixel 7 is finally here, and it is my main phone till the Pixel 7 Pro comes in next week, and so far my experience has been pretty positive with a few inconveniences. But I can say the Pixel 7 might just be the Android phone of the year. Now I have a lot to talk about in this video, so I'm going to be explaining why the Pixel 7 is the better phone choice than the Pixel 7 Pro based on my experience with the Pixel 6 and the Pixel 6 Pro from last year. Now, before we get into specs and all the new features within the Pixel 7, let's talk about the most important thing most people are going to be concerned about, and that is the price. Luckily for everyone, Google decided to keep a consistent price just like last year, making the Pixel 7 and the 7 Pro the same price, with both of them being $599 USD and $899 USD respectively. This is great news because one, $600 for a flagship Android phone is absolutely amazing. Two, if you're really on a budget, then the Pixel 6 is currently at a discount and you'll be able to buy it brand new or secondhand for maybe $200 less than the original price. And third, the prices are very competitive, undercutting the competition just like Samsung and Apple by a lot. And with Google's aggressive marketing in North America and the world, this might just win a lot of people over with the Pixel 7 series. Now, if you love Pixel or the iPhone or Samsung content, I have a lot of videos coming up in the next coming days. So you should consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that bell so you'll be the first to know when I drop those videos. Okay, one of the reasons I prefer the Pixel 7 to the 7 Pro is the display, and I'm not talking about the specs or the brightness or any of that. We'll talk about that in a second. But it's the fact that this has a flat display as opposed to a curved one. Bruh, a flat display makes the experience so much better. You get one less screen glare when watching videos, and there are no accidental touches when using the phone. You get a 1080p 90Hz AMOLED display with a slightly smaller display than the Pixel 6 with a 6.3-inch display. It might not be much, but personally, smaller phones makes my experience a lot better. Now, on the back is where most of the visual changes can be seen. The camera bar now has a matte finish and doesn't have that two-tone look on the Pixel 6. But while all that is great and good, I only have one question. Why the hell did Google make the back of the phone glass and not matte finish or a frosted finish? Huh? Now, while the lemongrass color hides the finger smudges, if you buy the obsidian or the black color, it's going to be very visible. And speaking of colors, the Pixel 7 comes in three new colors, that is lemongrass, which I have right here, snow or white, and obsidian or black. Now, the compact size of the Pixel 7 is a welcome feature, and in addition, it also helps that this is 12 grams lighter than the Pixel 6. So if smaller phones are right up your alley, then the Pixel 7 might just be your next Android phone. Now, moving on to things I liked about the Pixel 7 is the performance. It has the new G2 Tensor chip, and the great part is it's going to also be on the Pixel 7 Pro, unlike some other companies I am not going to mention. But generally, performance has been great without any hiccups. Even though the Tensor G2 chip is basically the Snapdragon 865, it does way more than just raw power, like a lot of people want you to believe. Now, the smarter Tensor G2 will bring better fast processing to your photos you take, better battery optimizations, video improvements to the camera, and of course improvements to the already brilliant text-to-speech feature. This is hands down the best feature on the phone because it is faster than typing, it works with most accents and enunciations, as well as detecting pauses when you speak, and many more. There's also going to be a built-in VPN within the phone that lets you protect your private information when browsing and online transactions. Clear calling is also new to the Pixel 7 and the Pixel 7 Pro, diminishing the background noise and isolating your voice so that more people can hear you clearly. And like always, Google has promised up to 5 years of security updates. Now, another thing I liked that Google improved on is the battery life. The battery here is significantly miles better than the Pixel 6. Even though it is decreased from 4600 to 4350, I find myself getting more value for my battery on the 7 than the 6. I end my day with about 40% or 30%. Now, the Tensor G2 chip is more optimized and will be the same on the Pixel 7 Pro, with its 5000 mAh of battery, of course. Now, while battery may be great, charging is kind of on the wonky side. Now, I found that turning off my phone charges my phone a lot faster, and it went from 0 to 100 in about an hour, 20 minutes. Yes, I know most people don't like charging their phones off, but it is one of the best ways to get away from the slow charging speeds. The camera on the Pixel 7 is one of the things I liked, and it's not just the hardware, it's the software, but we'll get to that very soon. Now the Pixel 7 does not have the new 48 megapixel telephoto lens on the Pro, so you can't take super res zoomed in images or even macro mode. It is a bummer to me because it's always fun shooting macro or zooming into objects that are far away to just flex with your friends or even try it out in the first week. However, like most things, when the novelty wears off, you most likely won't use it often. With that being said, the cameras are the same as last year, with a 50 megapixel main sensor and a 12 megapixel ultra wide lens. While the front facing camera is an upgrade with an 11 megapixel sensor and now shoots in 4K 30 and 60 frames per second. They also added face unlock, which is pretty fast in daytime, but at night it does struggle a bit and I have to do it a few times, but I love the new addition nonetheless. Now, as I said earlier, Google has improved more on the computational processing and machine learning than its hardware. First, the shutter speed is super fast while maintaining a lot of quality in your image. With or without great lighting conditions, the camera produces great images that are balanced in terms of color accuracy and vibrance. Now, I did notice the pictures that we're taking here always gave a cooler side, but you can adjust them to a warmer tone if that is your thing. The ultra wide is still a fun addition to have, however it dials up to 0.7x as opposed to 0.5 on the Pixel 7 Pro. The images are still great with awesome detail and I see myself using this more this year. The selfie camera here is better than the iPhone and Samsung has to offer because as a black person, it gets my skin tone without dramatically processing my face. Real tone is an awesome feature and I really want to thank Google for considering us when making their phones. Now when it comes to video, there has been an improvement with the Pixel 7, however it does have the same specs of last year and that is your usual 4K 60 and 30 frames per second. But this time they added 10-bit HDR with a new mode called Cinematic Blur that gives a more dramatic effect when shooting video, and they also added improvements to stabilization. This is clearly direct competition with Apple and its own cinematic mode. The video here is pretty good, but Apple still edges the Pixel in that regard. However, I still believe that the Pixel 7 is a better camera unit overall, especially with what the software can do, like Magic Eraser for example, for removing unwanted objects or people, and Photo on Blur that improves current and even older pictures that were not so clear. I also believe that all this edges Apple and Samsung as the best smartphone camera right now. Now the differences between the Pixel 7 and the Pixel 7 Pro aren't so much. You get a bigger battery, a telephoto lens, and a bigger display with the Pro version, but everything else is on the Pixel 7. It is better value for money without a doubt, however you cannot go wrong with any of these phones. They are priced below the competition and is the Android phone to buy in 2022. Now, if you like this video or you got any value from it, click the like button and consider subscribing to the channel. My name is KJOS and I will catch you guys very soon in the next one where I talk all things tech.